So the first thing that we actually want to go ahead and do when we're cutting these Pepakura files is we want to make a blank template. Now I was actually watching a few videos and came across one, again, link in the description, and I will also go ahead and put this in the captions as well. Basically you want to make a template that you can put DXF files into constantly. That way you don't have to constantly reset and redo the settings every single time. It's going to get cumbersome, so this is an easy way, a shortcut for printing out a bunch of files, or pumping out a bunch of files and getting them through the cutting machine a lot quicker. We want to go ahead and get Pepakura. Like I said before, if you are new to Cameo and you're looking for a way to transfer your Pepakura files, get them over to Cameo Studio, get them out quick and start cutting, the very first thing that you're going to want to download is Pepakura Designer. That's from Tamasoft. Don't go anywhere else but the Tamasoft website. I'll go ahead and Google that here. Tamasoft. There we go. Tamasoft.co.jp. This is where you want to go. If you see anything else, if you want, Pepakura Designer, and you see anything else, pepakuradesigner.en, don't go there. Don't go to download.cnet. Do not go to even Pinterest. Black Owl Studio, I don't even know what that is. Again, tamasoft.co.jp. You click this to get the actual version created by the folks straight from the horse's mouth. So we have Pepakura Designer as of October 3rd. I already have this version here. It has been released, so you can download this. The other thing is, you do need to purchase a key code. You will need this for the Pepakura Designer, allowing you to export things as DXF files. It is $38. This is an investment to make your Pepakura files go faster, so remember that. You got the Cameo Silhouette Studio. If you've invested in that, it's a little over $200. You're going to be wanting to invest a little bit more to make sure that you get everything correct and through the system. So again, $38 to buy that key code, and you'll want to go ahead and download the Pepakura Designer. If you're watching this video, you probably have a lot of experience with Pepakura. This is your deep dive into Cameo. So let's pretend that we actually downloaded that. Everything's loaded up, and we have our thing here. Let's go with something a little easier to do. I have a couple of files here that we're going to take a look at. Okay, so currently I'm actually working on a Stormtrooper from episode 7. Let's go with the crotch and butt plate. Let's open that up. Side note: I like the newer update. You can actually see how tall or wide or deep something is with the Pepakura Designer. So this unfold here to the right hand side, you can see it looks pretty organized. It didn't look like that in the beginning. In fact, it looked like a hot mess like this over here. The colors you will see wasn't like that before either. Let me go ahead and start from the beginning. Edge color. Okay. Most of the time you are going to look at a Pepakura file, you're going to open it up, and it's going to look like this right here. Yeah, it's all black. What you don't see behind the scenes is all of the mountain lines, the fold lines, the valley lines, and the cut lines. It's all kind of pre-programmed with the Pepakura Designer. So when you do open it up for the very first time, of course, the first thing you want to do is adjust your paper settings. So you want to go into Setting, Print and Paper Setting. I like letter 8.5 by 11 inches imperial measurements is what I go by. Margins, I like to have a good margin. 0.47 is what I found to be the most nominal. I'm going to hit OK after I've selected, again, letter. I do portrait, and my margins are 0.47 on either side, or 0.5 inches. So I hit OK. Here we go. I also like to do one more thing here. I like to go to Settings, up at the top, Other Settings. Now here is where we want to make a few things, a few changes. Now I know that you're used to seeing dotted lines like this. Let me scroll in. The dotted fold lines. Now while we're exporting, we do not want dotted lines. It's not going to be our friend. So we're going to click on Settings, Other Settings. We want the mountain fold line to be solid. We want the valley fold line to also be solid. You can change this threshold if you're more experienced with Pepakura Designer. For me, I lowered it a little bit. Anything with a lesser of a degree will be smoothed out. It's good for when you're building big armor pieces and you don't want, let's say, you don't want something that looks like this, where you're going to have a bunch of folds, when in reality you want like a nice smooth transition here, like a rounded shape. If you're just doing a rounded piece, you don't want these essentially polygon looking things to be scored into the Pepakura. So again, Settings, Other Settings. I like to change my threshold. It changes depending on what piece I'm actually working on. So I'm going to go back down to 140. See, nice and smooth. I know that eventually when it actually goes to be printed and cut, it's going to be a nice smooth surface. Now a couple of other things. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. What we want to do now is change the edge colors here. Okay, so I'm going to go to 2D menu. I'm going to go to Edit Mode. I'm going to go to Edge Color, and it's going to pop up the design here, or the window here. I'm going to unclick Cut Line. I'm going to unclick Mountain Line. I'm going to leave Valley Line open. So my Valley Line, I'm going to go down here to the Paint Color Options. I'm going to go to the Valley Line. Let's make blue. Okay, so now it's ready to be painted. So what you do, if you go over to the 2D menu on the right hand side, notice that the cursor turns into a paintbrush. So in the upper left hand corner off of the page, left click and drag. Now it's highlighting all of the valley folds, and it's going to now turn them blue. Now we're going to do this for the mountain. So we're going to uncheck Valley, check Mountain, click Paint Color. We're going to make this red. Okay. Same thing. Paintbrush, upper left, click, drag. Now all of the mountain lines are highlighted. When we let go, as we can see, everything is red. Now this is automatic. The cut lines are automatically black, but if you want to make absolutely sure, again, uncheck Mountain, make sure there's no other checkboxes up here. Click Cut Line, so it's a checkbox. Paint Color, black. Okay. And we're going to go over to the 2D menu. Again, we're going to click, drag. As you can see, the outlines are now black. They were before, but again, this is making doubly sure. Okay, so we want to exit out of this menu here. And what I like to do, just to be safe, I like to make sure that none of my folds here are touching the line like that. Certainly don't want that. Otherwise, when you print it out to a DXF, it's going to cut all that off. You don't want that. So I'm going to move that over here.